Good afternoon and welcome to the Clark Oval ahead of the start of play here. Sunbury hosting Bacchus Marsh 6v7th. Big welcome to all of you who have tuned in right around the country. If not, well, given the pattern of some of the players in season 2026, you might be tuning in from overseas. So buckle up, enjoy the ride. Most important win for both sides. And good to see Harry Minton Connell returning for the Lions. The VFL talent, no doubt, will play managed minutes this afternoon. Bacchus Marsh will kick to the left of screen in the opening term with the aid of a slight breeze. So at the restart, at the start, it'll be Gallant and Gertz. When the umpires picked out an early free kick, it's going to go the way of Shea. And the BFNL Games record holder goes short to Nixon. He's off on his right boot and goes inside 50. Freeman the target. It was a good effort there from Eels to run off his man. Got an important touch. Well, Gallant, he got a second attempt at it. That was better to the lever. He just lowered the eyes and found power. Told to play on by the umpire. Didn't go the required, but he had time to move the ball to the outside. Found Boyd into the side today, given the late out of Jake Egan. Rumour has it he got the thumbs up from Essendon, but got knocked back by the medics. Loose ball opportunity. Sunbury gone into attack, but it's been cut off there by Milburn. So an important start for Milburn in the defence. So the kick was okay, didn't let him down. And they'll work it out to the outside. Sam Griffith. Now this might be the newcomer in Harry Murcher with the left boot. Got his first touch at the level, and congratulations him. He's away, the Vic Country representative, just turned 16 a few days ago. So looking forward to seeing how he goes at the level. There's the throw in, Gallant, who's started well, albeit the opening minute or so. Tendanello won his own ball, fed it by hand to Dean Muir, got it to the outside to Boyd. So into the breeze the Lions go with a short chip kick over the top and found Doyle. He's had a good season in the front half. He's a dangerous player, Doyle, around goal. But he's a mile away from the sticks at the moment. The kick was good. Found the left footer there in Gillard. They looked to go short, barely went the required. Umpire agreed, called play on. Gillard tried to do the mopping up, but it was well read off the boot and went over the head of Walker, and it was cut off by Huxtable, who went to outer centre wing. Kick was good, went in the Freeman direction. He just needs to bend here, the big fella, and he did that well, and he fed it by hand to Huxtable, who kept running. Ricochet off the back of a Lion's head. If you wouldn't count on that, as McLean got the turnover and ran away for the Lions and went wide to the pocket. Out direction there of Newitt, who's put together a recent bout of good form, good player, and the kick didn't let him down or me. And he found McLean, who pushed forward after that shallow entry inside 50 and was rewarded for his running ahead of the footy. He's got it back now on the back of that Newitt kick, and he'll have a shot on goal, but he elects to go short into the Gillard direction, but it was well cut off there by Fulton, who'll go onto that left boot, and he'll come broadcast side. It got to Sam Griffiths on the bounce. He had the debutant by hand, but he elected to go long and took the territory to McKercher. Seemingly spent it before he had it. Bramble, the other racehorse. Look forward to seeing how those two go head-to-head. Like a couple of greyhounds at Sandown Park on a Thursday night. The bound ball found its way over the line for a boundary throw-in. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be chasing either McKercher or Bramble around on a Saturday afternoon, especially if they had a lure in front of them. Ground ball, Shea, fed it by hand. Metcher was strong in the contest, was dispossessed nonetheless. Welcome to senior footy. Fulton shoveled it out to Nixon. It was clean at the ankles. Fed it by hand to Gertz, who just chipped it forward. It's good use of the body there by Coulton, but Tendanello was up to the task. Got an important fist on it over the line for a boundary throw-in. Right in front of us here. We'll savour this moment, given the opening 4 minutes essentially played on the outer side of the ground. So Bacchus Marsh kicking with the aid of the slight breeze. Round ball. Umpire's picked out a free kick here. It's going to go the way of Huxtable. He's got an important role in the fortunes of the Cobras this afternoon. He started well with a couple of possessions. He's got an easy out here with Nixon if he wants him, but he elects to go more direct. Kick was good. Coulton, well, he wanted the arm chop, denied, and Gallant took advantage of the rebound and found Zach Stevens, who looks to square the ball. Now, this is that chip-up play that I spoke about before the opening ball up. Power was one of those who found Gillard, who went lateral with that left boot to Wood, who's basically the celebrant here at Sunbury. He's been to that many weddings this year. They got it to the outside to Doyle and half forward out of side. Onto the left boot he goes. He sends it in the Newitt direction. Yeah, it was a nice low grab by a player in form. And Newitt will go back, albeit into the breeze, for a shot 50 metres out from goal. Just a little bit of rain around us here at the moment. None falling on the Clark Oval at the moment. So a dry, firm deck for this clash. Touch wood, albeit in the opening 6 minutes of this clash. So that'll be Newitt with the run up. You've got plenty on the kick. It's the fly at the back, no mark taken. Ground ball opportunity has been rushed through for a behind. So Vesti will retrieve the footy. It's been a handy pick-up in the off-season as the Cobras look to continue to re-sign this entire group and hopefully add some further top end into the new season next year. So Nixon's covered a bit of ground early. Went short to Huxtable. So the two youngsters combine. Well, Stevens got him from behind. Pinged by the umpire. Doyle got onto the outside with the left boot. And just missed off to the left. Stevens no slouch either. By foot. Despite a broken leg earlier in the year. Seems to fully have mended. So Sunbury with the opening 2 scores of the game, albeit behinds. So it'll be Sam Griffiths with the territory going out of defence. He's a beautiful exponent of the drop punt. It went beyond half back for the Cobras. Loose ball, Billy Griffiths, fed it by hand. He took the right option. It was the first one to Gertz to an open forward line. Freeman, oh, excellent grab. 1-on-1 against Eels. Inside 50 and a clever grab. Some good forward craft shown there by Freeman, who kicked a couple of goals last week for the Cobras in that third term to give them the lead. Got the Cobras up and about on their feet, especially those around the perimeter of a packed Mattingly Park last week. So Freeman, he's normally a beautiful kick of the footy, and he makes no mistake, Freeman. Now that's the response the Cobras were after with that inside 50 kick. It was a good one at that. Freeman gets his first and the opening major of the afternoon. Gee, they took some 8 behinds before they were able to kick their first major last week against the Devils. So on the efficiency side, a much better start from the Cobras. Sunbury just 2 behinds, but their task made more difficult in this opening term into the breeze. So the Cobras, you'd think, will need to hit the scoreboard. They'll get the flags in the background favouring the left of screen. So Freeman with the opener for the Cobras. Ball up, loose ball, Guthrie. So good, out of stoppage. Right foot kick, hurried one at that. Tack on the footy off half back was good from Milburn. He's bereft of option. Then gave it to McKercher. He fed it by hand. That was good play there from McKercher. To give it to Shea, who found Huxtable, who started well. Wheeled onto the right boot and got it to the outside. Coulton just needs to sit up for him. And he got beat by the arm ball there. Was rolled over the line for a boundary throw-in, so a reset for the Cobras deep inside their forward 50. And the confidence up. They've had a good couple of minutes on the back of that Freeman conversion. Tick over 9 minutes gone. Freeman will do the ruck work. But Muir on the tap forward. Foot race on here. Boundary line will beat them all. It might have come off the boot there of young Wakefield. Doyle will be the beneficiary. Wasted no time with a 45 kick to Lever. He continues the pattern with a copy-paste execution to McLean. He gave it back to Lever to the outer side of the ground. Good effort there by Ryan. Was paid the free kick. So the advantage to Minton Connell. Well, that bend and stretch tested the hammies early. Back to Ryan. Over the head of Newitt. Foot race on here. He and Jones. And Jones will be more than happy to see it over the line for a boundary throw-in. So the Lions get a reset of their own deep inside their forward 50. After a coast-to-coast passage. Bacchus Marsh 1 goal straight, 6. Leads Sunbury 2 behinds. Throw in, tap one by Gertz. He got another one in the end. Ball at ground level. Kabarkovic with the pressure. And Stevens will get a ball up 35 metres away from the Sunbury goal. Tap one by Gertz. Went boundary side. Milburn just needs to bend and Wakefield provide the assist, but they couldn't get either done, the Cobras. That was a little bit clumsy. And the Lasso free kick. Gates might have caught one in the back. The umpire called play on. Loose hand pass to McLean, who had a shot on goal into the breeze. And he got plenty of it, McLean. Somebody get there first of the afternoon. Terrific finish. And they regain the lead here at the Clark Oval. Bit of speed on the bench for Sunbury at the moment in the home of Riley Miller, Harry Power and Cody Bramble. No disrespect to Miles Gallant, of course, but he is the anomaly among the four in the, albeit in that small player, speedy type. And now that observation is essentially null and void, given the three speedsters have come onto the ground for the Lions, who got the lead through McLean. So Muir, speak of Joel, in the ruck for the Lions. Cameron fed it by hand to Newitt. They're dangerous here, the Lions. Got it to Power to the pocket. Well, Walker spent it before he had it in the end, and Griffiths had to do his own work, but only as far as Doyle. Boyd shrugged the tackle there of the youngster in there in Metcher, kicked into a dangerous area, went through the hands of Wakefield. The Cobras have got numbers here. They should be able to work it out. Well, they fumbled it momentarily. Now Milburn should get it back from Shea. Well, he left it behind. Now there's a loose ball opportunity for Newitt. Now that was a clean gather. It was a good example of how to go about it. But getting a touch of the fumbles there was Bramble. Loose ball gather there from Lever. Just sent the ball onto the boot. Guthrie presented. Came from outside 50 for the Lions. Knocked it back to Bramble. Now that was better from the speedster, but he dropped it in the end. He'll get pinged by the umpire. And a free kick to the Cobras, who waste no time through Billy Griffiths, sending the ball up towards Freeman. He's covered a bit of ground. He's got little or no options ahead. Huxtable, though, is crafty on his own. But Freeman looked to square the ball to Nixon. A turnover opportunity. His numbers will prevail for the Lions through Newitt to Power, back to Newitt, and the short kick to Joel Muir. To the left foot of Doyle, who went to half forward to a 2-on-1. Made it difficult for Walker. Martin bent well, the youngster. Fed it by hand to Gertz, to Kabarkovic. He's normally good by foot, and he found Wakefield laces out. He made a better example of that overhead on that occasion. The youngster will steady and go short to Billy Griffiths on the defensive side of outer centre wing for the Cobras. Right foot kick here towards Locke. He had it knocked away from him there by Ryan. Loose ball, Power through traffic to Muir. There was good frontal pressure on that occasion from Nixon. Shea, he's got a couple to beat. He went to ground. Keeping his feet there was Stevens. Didn't go the required, but the gather from Miller was at speed. And he took advantage of that momentum through the footy and fed it by hand to Guthrie, who went back to Bramble, who went inside 50, and it was well read off the boot there by Sam Griffiths, who can rebound for the Cobras. Short kick's okay to Kabarkovic, who just tipped it over the top in the Billy Griffiths direction. It wasn't the best kick. Turnover opportunity for Riley. Oh, how's the gather from Sammy Griffiths? It's terrific. Now an opportunity for the debutant, the 16-year-old Metcher. He got it by foot to the outside to Daly, who had no time to dilly-dally. He was tackled, loose ball, gathered there by Canning. Kicked it to a 2-on-1. One was David and the other one was Goliath, albeit the name of Lever on that occasion against McKercher. So he goes short to Newitt, who switches play to the outer side. They're just queuing up here. Minton Connell distributes the ball to outer centre wing. Doyle ran onto it, didn't break stride and fed the ball by hand to Bramble. Over the top to Ryan. Bramble had to follow up and do his own dirty work at the end because his handball give wasn't, what he wanted really. Turnover opportunity for the Cobras as Wakefield got it to Billy Griffiths, tumbling ball forward. That's all the Lions. They should be able to, they can raffle this. And the short kick was fine. So Newitt, from a standing start, will kick to an unmarked McLean on the defensive 50. Broadcast sign for the Lions. He went short, tipped it over the top to Tenadello. He's got Gallant in the middle if he wants him. But he'll go to Cameron on broadcast centre wing. Right foot kick to half forward. Gallant, outstretched hands, just read that weighted kick better, made it difficult for Fulton. And Gallant went by hand to Cameron, who went wide to the pocket. And an uncontested, comfortable mark taken there by Minton Connell, who's pushed forward, and he'll get his third uncontested possession since he's come on the ground. And you'd reckon, given his resume, there'd be a little bit more attention placed on the VFL talent. Sunbury 8, lead Bacchus Marsh 6. Low scoring affair here. So it'll be Minton Connell from just inside 50. Right foot kick, got plenty of it into the breeze. It's going to go across the face. There's the fly from Walker. Couldn't bring it down. Oh, the umpire has paid it to Vesti in the end for the push. He went short. Found Jones. He just chipped it over the top. It was a beautifully weighted kick. Had to be spot on to Fulton, who want to get onto his left side. And there he does. As predictable as that was, he was forced to renege on that right side commitment and go back with that left boot to Jones. Kick found Wakefield. Wasted no time, the youngster. Fed it by hand. Kick was okay. A mile away from us here as Huxtable will concede with the 45 to Jones. Very accountable in front of the footy here. Sunbury in their defence of the Cobras' will to execute. There was nearly a push on Gates, but the umpire called play on. The right foot shot on goal out in the Gillard direction. He couldn't reel it in. Touch through for a minor score. Sunbury's third of the term. They're 1-3-9. They lead Bacchus Marsh. 1 goal straight, 6. Near 18 minutes gone in this opening term. It'll be the trusty penetrating boot of Sam Griffiths to bring this ball back into play. And he goes to the option there in Locke, who had it knocked away from him by Lever, who did the disciplined thing. But he gave away a free kick. Locke will be the beneficiary and go down the line. Coming off his line there was Eels. It's a bit predictable with that down the line kick there from Locke. Griffiths was clean. He started well. And a penetrating left foot out in the direction of brother Billy. Ground ball opportunity. Somebody got numbers through Riley. Had to be quick by hand. There's a free kick. Yeah, holding the man, or you can manufacture anything. A number of frees there. But the right call. Dean Muir, number 7. It was a poor kick. It was cut off there by Fulton. And he looks to go long with the left boot. Somebody got numbers here. But there's a fly at the back there from McKercher. Ball came to ground. It was good frontal pressure there from Morgan to square away a stoppage. 35 to 40 metres away. from the Cobra goal as we near time on in this opening term. Low-scoring affair. Gallant won the tap and the tiebreaker. Released it by foot. Got it beyond the defensive 50. Doyle didn't bend. Fulton did, but his kick couldn't get through the traffic. Stevens found Doyle to Muir. He's got a chance to attain. Should have gone to Boyd, but elected to go back through the traffic. And he found an outnumber in McLean on that occasion. He and/or Guthrie could have raffled that, and they just sent the ball to the outside of Minton Connell, who fed it by hand to the running power, who loves to take a bounce and delivered low, and the kick was terrific. Found young Gillard, who presented on the lead. Excellent. One grab, clean mark taken there by Gillard, a Montmorency product picked up in the off-season. Missed the first 10 weeks with knee soreness, and in just a handful of games for Sunbury since his recovery, he's reached double-figure goals. So he's been a pesky small forward for opposition and a handy acquisition for the Lions. But on this occasion, off to the left and through for a minor score. Redan 13 lead North Ballarat 6. Melton 12 lead Ballarat 6. And Sebastopol off to a flyer at Darley Park, 24. They lead Darley 7. So Griffiths. Oh, rare fumble from Daly. Made to pay, but only with a minor score against through that off the boot of Newitt. So they'll get a second attempt at it. Just how can the Cobras manufacture 20 scoring shots this afternoon to get a result? Because, well, Sunbury have already had 6, and we're in time on of this opening term, and they're into the breeze. Short kick from Kavakovic was good to lock. It was strong overhead, and the kick found Freeman, who presented right in front of the visiting Cobras coach's box. And he goes along the line to a 2-on-1, and Gertz. He was outnumbered, but he was up to the task and went forward to a 1-on-1. Billy Griffiths at the back. Just outpointed Eels on that occasion. Took a nice grab and so get some air back into the game. Go back and have a shot on goal here. And the chance to get the Cobras back, albeit their noses in front in the early periods of time on. So to be Billy Griffiths, busy small forward, sends the ball on its way and straight into the goal post. Unfortunate for Griffiths and the Cobras. And they remain behind the ledger by 4 points. 22 and a half minutes gone. Sunbury 11, lead Bacchus Marsh 7. Bit of rain falling now. Leave it to the outer side of the ground. Minton Connell took the mark, fed it by hand. Well, Muir was unable to get it on his own terms. He get pinged here, and the Cobras will get a re-entry through McKerchup. Players just standing around. They need some movement. You go to Freeman. From the side came Lever, got an important fist on it. But good work from Freeman to be providing that lead-up option. Certainly been bereft of that over recent weeks. There's the throw-in. Rain, light rain falling. Gertz with the tap. Lever with the next one. Ryan. Shea. And we'll get a ball up. 25 metres away from the Sunbury goal as the rain confirms our initial thoughts on the wind direction as it's sort of blowing diagonally to the Cobras end. Now, that's an ambitious kick. Out of that ruck stoppage there by Gertz. Ended up in a dangerous area, albeit the goal square in the end, and Eels had to knock it through to play it safe. Cobras get there second behind of the term, so collectively 2-7 between the two sides. Sunbury with 1-5, Bacchus Marsh 1-2. And Gallant with ball in hand. He's got the celebrant around to the left side, and he'll give it to him. Fed it by hand to Lever. He too a lefty. went over the head of Muir, who went to ground. He's just had an almost first quarter. Dean Muir. So the rebound opportunity for Huxtable to send the Cobras into attack with a squaring kick was well read by the Sunbury defence to effect a spoil. And they'll work it out here with a slow hand pass there from Guthrie, who got it to Gillard. Back to Gillard, who took them on. And got a lucky ball to boot. Walker, he's a mile away from half forward. G. Jones, I thought he did plenty right there. Walker will take that. Beautiful kick in the McLean direction. Went through his hands. Probably a bit of a slippery ball now. Benefit for the doubt to get it back, McLean. The handball received from Power. He got it to Minton Connell. He's been every bit busy. And he kicked it to the fat side. Foot race on here. Gates has got some toe. And so two of the timekeepers here blowing the whistle, albeit the siren, after a tick over just 25 minutes elapsed in that opening term, where Sunbury, who kicked into the breeze. Just how much that equates to on the scoreboard, well, we'll know more at the half when Sunbury get there 30 minutes with it, essentially. But at quarter time here in BFNL's match of the round here in the east, in a low-scoring affair with rain or drizzle coming down here, Sunbury 1-5-11 lead Bacchus Marsh 1 goal to 8. The goal scorers for Bacchus Marsh, well, he got the opener, Joel Freeman, and McLean got the response at the other end. So an arm wrestle of sorts if I was to make a projection here from quarter time. Sunbury look the better side with their running and link between the arcs. The Cobras just hanging in there. That's the sort of side they are. They won't go down without a fight, the Cobras, and, well, they'll certainly be in 4-1 in the second term. They just need to play some smart footy and some clean footy, albeit in trying conditions. Guys, we'll get an update score from around the grounds before our first break of the afternoon. Quarter time here, Sunbury 1-5-11, lead Bacchus Marsh 1 goal 2-8. Ballarat 1-1-7, trail Melton 3 goals straight 18. North Ballarat 1 goal straight 6, trailed Redan 4-2-26. Darley 2-3-15, trail Sebastopol 5 straight 30. And East Point in their first game without Coach Joe Carmody giving his exit for personal reasons during the week. 2-1-13, the Kangas, they lead Lake Windaree 1 behind. So some interesting scores to keep you updated with right throughout the afternoon. But here in BFNL's match of the round of the East, it's Sunbury who lead Bacchus Marsh by 3 points at quarter time. A break, back with the second quarter action in 5 minutes. Welcome back to the Clark Oval. A little bit of rain over the last 11 minutes, albeit light drizzle. It's just made conditions a little bit more difficult. Bit of a slippery ball. But Sunbury lead by 3 points, and with the aid of a breeze in this second term. Fulton couldn't gather cleanly, nor to Cameron. There's that slippery ball I speak of. It'll take some adjustment. And we'll get a ball up. So McLean with the goal for Sunbury. Freeman at the other end for the Cobras. Wakefield fought tenaciously at ground level. Shea went the socket, was hopeful. Now Nixon was held. Free kick against Guthrie. Could have gone to Fulton, who called for the footy, but just with no speed. So Nixon chose the right option. Went along to Morgan. Couldn't hang on. Loose ball. Lock. Quick hands from Huxtable was hopeful. Somebody got numbers through Wood, and he'll go with the left boot, and a clearing one at that. Out in the Miller direction, and his right foot kick. Found Boyd. It was a good stretch. He's on to the recall in the absence of Jake Egan. We had a couple of touches in this opening quarter and a bit. Doyle squares the ball to broadcast centre wing to Powett. Somebody certainly had a lot of the ball, more positive ball between the arcs. Now there's Guthrie with that familiar hit up. And he set a shallow entry inside 50 to the outstretched hands of Muir. He couldn't hang on. Fulton, he's got to do it by himself. He just needs some help. Jones provided that. He went to the voice of Gertz. He's pushed back. The big fella just needs to sit up for him. And much to his relief, a little glare from Gertz to the boundary umpire was enough to trigger the blowing of the whistle some 40 metres around from the Sunbury goal. Opening minute, second term. Breeze to the left of screen. Rain, as you can see. Still a tight affair. Tap one by Gertz. You can hear the thump through the mics. It was nearly as good as a kick in the end. Opportunity at ground level. There for Miller, who was knocked off the footy. Cameron was clean. Fed it by hand to Bramble. He's got some toe and he ran away. Excellent smother there from Gertz. Got an important touch on it. Not out of trouble yet, though, the Cobras. Lucky to get away with that. The Lions hurried kick out of defence, and Vesti was cut off there by Lever, who had a good opening term. And he'll look to go to the pocket with a left boot kick out in the Guthrie direction. There's the fly from Guthrie, and he's brought it down. And they just need to protect the hole here, the Cobras. Guthrie will be looking for that potential hit-up kick, but with the breeze behind, distance won't be a problem here. Chance to get the first goal of the second term. And back-to-back goals, albeit belatedly for Sunbury today. And, of course, they're going for back-to-back wins this afternoon for the first time this year. So Guthrie. She measured that well. Too well in the end. Just got through for a behind off to the right. It was a nice swing of the golf club there from Guthrie. Just lipped out in the end. So that'll be Vesti. You got plenty of it. You'd think the Cobras were kicking with the breeze. The distance that kick got. Opened the door for Wakefield. It was a wild hand pass. Turned over there by Boyd. He got it to Ryan. He went with the right boot. Out direction of Doyle, who's covered some ground. Between the 30 and the 70-metre mark. Away from the Sunbury goal. He's been busy. So he rocks onto that left boot and sends it to a dangerous area. Well, can't be too dangerous, really. Out of bounds on the full. So a rebound opportunity for the Cobras, who continue to hang in here at the Clark Oval. Can they get one back against the run of play and do wonders for their confidence as Vesti bombs another beautiful drop punt beyond the defensive 50. It's a nice grab taken there by Coulton, who presented and gave every indication he wanted to go long, and the sidestep was clever around Muir. Gained some extra yardage and went with the long boot out in the lock direction. The kick had too much on it. Tendinello cut it off, as he so often does. And he goes lateral to Bramble, who presented on true centre-half back. Sure what happened there. Good umpiring. Just cleaned that up. And he'll come to the unmarked lever on his left side. He can hit up Doyle if he likes. He's looking to go corridor momentarily, but takes the safe option in the end to Doyle. That was a loose hand pass in between Lever and Wood. Now he's got to do it himself. Just some overcommitment there. That won't bother Armfield too much. Griffiths got it to the outside now. Nixon needs a finish here, but he looks to square the ball. Out in the direction there of Morgan. It just needs to sit up for him, and he'll kick it across the body, and he'll get it done for the Cobras. There's the one against the run of play that I was talking about. Well, Sunbury have essentially had majority of play in their front half in this term. And you get so many opportunities before an opposition will create one of their own, and that's come to the fore with a nice finish and an all-important second goal into the breeze for Bacchus Marsh through Morgan. They're 2-2-14. They lead Sunbury 1 goal, 6-12. Game on. Back at the restart. Loose ball opportunity needs to be gathered here by Huxtable, who's normally good at ground level. He gathered cleanly and set a high ball. He can nearly do his own roving at the end. Such the height he got on that gain. So we'll get the ball up on half forward. Broadcast side for the Cobras into the breeze. Tap one by Gertz to the outside. It was a one-arm tackle there by Shea. I'm not sure what the free kick was for. Might have been a hold. An arm hold. Tendinello. Well, he's just given it back to Huxtable. He had arguably more of it than any other Cobra. He just got it to the outside to Nixon. He needs to be sure by foot here. And he just goes the long option. Morgan, Flew can bring it down. Griffiths, speaking of Billy on this occasion, foraging. Needs to get it away from the traffic. Was unable to extricate, but did enough to convince the umpire it was enough intent to square away a stoppage. Tick over 7 minutes gone, second term. Cobra's in attack. Now the time for the Lions to defend. Soccer off the ground there from Locke goes through for a behind. And the breeze, of course, now at, well, essentially a standstill. And the rain has abated. Well, there's the kick in from Lever. Gee, it was a traceable at the end. It went through the hands of Muir. Daly with quick hands to Gertz. Now, composed was the youngster there in Martin, but the kick let him down. Was cut off there by Eels, who looked to play on to Lever. He's been arguably the best on the ground. Left foot kick. Turnover. Now, Griffiths, he's got a thumping left foot kick on him. And there's an example of that. A dangerous area. Morgan from the side couldn't bring it down. Gee, just the timing of that leap. He did a lot right. Tendinello turned it over and found Gillard, who got it to the outside to Ryan. He went with the right boot, looking there towards Doyle. Loose ball held up. Good ball security. We'll get a ball up. True centre wing out of side of the ground. 8.5 minutes gone, second term. Bacchus Marsh lead by 3 points here. Gertz again to the running Jelly. He's got some toe. Should have the confidence up after a good running roll with Nick Hind last week. Fed it by hand to Shea. Tumbling kick forward. Got to Billy Griffiths on the bounce. Loose ball gathered there from Coulton. Bouncing, well, bounce over the line and a bounce on the full in the end. So, a couple of opportunities in time spent in the Cobras front half. Sort of gone awry for the visitors. Now it's Sunbury's turn to make the most of their opportunity. Powell needed to be quick, and he was in the end. Umpire paid the advantage, and McLean will get on the end of it on centre wing. He'll square the ball. Corridor kick was good. To Muir, inboard to Ryan, right foot kick. Milburn did it well, read it best off the boot. It wasn't the best kick, but he found McKercher in the end. He goes with the right boot to Coulton, who's presented well in this term especially. Billy Griffiths got it to the outside to Wakefield. and gave it back to Griffiths. He sent it forward. It was a nice grab taken there by Morgan. So he looked to move the footy to a dangerous area. So he chips it into the pocket. It's a good stretch at the back there from Coulton. He's been paid the mark. A shot on goal here. Imminent for the Cobras and reward for Coulton and his work rate in this second term. And a chance to give the Cobras their biggest lead of the game, albeit a slender 9 points. But given the low-scoring nature of the affair, goals coming in a premium here this afternoon. Any advantage will want to be taken. Coulton. Yep, he knew it straight off the boot, Coulton. And the Cobras, they get back-to-back goals of their own in this second term. And they extend to a 9-point lead, and a handy one at that, albeit into the slight breeze here at the Clark Oval. So 3 individual goal scorers for the Cobras through Freeman, Morgan and Coulton, whilst McLean has the solitary goal for Sunbury. Gee, for all of Sunbury's possession, it's just equated to 1 goal. I think that's been a story of the year for them. They get enough ball. Obviously, without Sutton and Johnson, the degree of difficulty is, well, a greater one. We'll get a ball up in the middle of the ground here. Bit of momentum. The Cobras, they lead by 9 points. Freeman grabbed it out of the ruck and bombed it forward. Unlawfully, said the umpire. And Gallant will be the beneficiary out of that stoppage. And you'll go in the Gillard direction. Griffiths at the back, couldn't hang on. The intent from Locke was good. Oh, that's got to hurt. Umpire called play on. So it's a tough game, this one. Off the boot of Minton Connell. And then maybe enough of a touch to put the line through any resultant free kick on the back of that new rule. So we'll get a throw in as the sun streams down on the Clark Oval momentarily. Forward out a sign for the Lions. Ground ball opportunity for Daly. Keep it in front of him. His gather was good. He forced to release the ball. Somebody got numbers around the contest at the moment. Now, Lever could have been held without it. He'll take the free kick here. And looks a little proppy too. The Sunbury captain. He goes short. So Power in the middle of the ground here. Might be a bit of a, looks like a bit of a groin, or it doesn't look good anyway for Lever. Unless it was a stinger. Power gets the ball back, and it's a shallow entry inside 50. Presenting there was Walker. He did everything but mark the ball in the end. Milburn got the spill, fed it by hand to Freeman. The kick was effective out of defence. Found Locke. He went to broadcast centre wing. Good use of the body by both Riley and Gertz. Call it even. Boundary line one at the end. We'll get a throw in, true centre wing broadcast side. Cobras with the only 2 goals of the second term. And trailed by 3 points at quarter time. They lead by 9. Throw in, Gallant ushered out of the contest there by Freeman. Hand pass, only went as far as Stevens, but his second effort was terrific, Freeman. And the tackle, and he got the reward. Waste no time sending it forward, albeit to half forward, to Coulton. He took a nice grab. Confidence up for Coulton. Gertz deep. Can he get hold of it? Ground ball. I heard a whistle, but it came from the netball courts, unfortunately, for the Cobras. Chance for Huxtable. Fed it by hand to Gertz. He gets another opportunity. Couldn't get through the traffic. Coulton misses to the near side. Lit off for the Lions. 10-point lead to the Cobras. 3-4-22. They lead Sunbury 1-6-12. So Lever looks like he's okay now. He's must have just copped a little stinger. And he'll have an opportunity to clear for the Lions. He's been terrific in the opening quarter and a bit. And he comes broadcast side in the Newitt direction. It favoured him, and he didn't let him down and go by hand to the outside here. It's the right option to Bramble, who got it to Walker. He gave it back to Bramble. Got around that tackle all too easy. Jones might have got an important touch on that, but didn't bother power. Didn't have to break stride. And has the finish. The entry inside 50 found Doyle. You go back and have a shot on goal here. Bit of a swirly breeze as the ball gets high in the air, as we saw with the Guthrie attempt on goal 5 or 6 minutes ago. But, yeah, most of the elements represented here this afternoon. We needed an umbrella 10 minutes ago. Now we need the zinc. So it'll be Doyle from inside 50. He's a good kick on goal, more often than not. And it's bending back. Oh, just stayed to the left. It was a nice kick. It was a good effort. Sunbury 7th behind, 1-7-13. Trail Bacchus Marsh 3-4-22. Griffiths will come broadcast side with that trusty left boot to half back. Goes to Gertz, who provides the aerial. Just tapped into the Gramble. A clean bowled Nixon, and it opened the door for power and a turnover. He went inboard to Bramble, got a touch of the fumbles. Excellent smother there from Griffiths. Huxtable's intent was good. The tackle was good from Gillard. Loose ball, Filton onto the hole, denied. He'll get it back here. Needs to be quick. Fed it to outside space. Kabarkovic got a kind bounce, and he gave it to Huxtable. His right foot kick. Well, Billy Griffiths pushed his man to the back. And Nathan Wood will go back and have it. Reserved free kick here as he looks to weigh up the options. But I'm not talking about which wedding to go to next, as he goes with the left boot. Well, it's a turnover. Huxtable got on the end of it. Geez, they sound like 25 Jack Russells out there at the moment. Oh, Freeman dropped what he should have taken. But his recovery was good, didn't go the required. Well, someone said play on. It wasn't us. So Martin to broadcast centre wing. Well, Coulton dropped his head. And that opened the door for the Lions. And then they've copped it up with a free kick against Gertz for a trip as Minton Connor went in the middle of the ground and knew it to Doyle, who wanted to get to his left side. So he fed the ball by hand to Gillard, who got it to Cameron, who went long and strong, but to the disappointment of McLean, off to the right and through for a minus score. 1 goal, 8 Sunbury. Taking the long way round, eating into this margin. Bacchus Marsh 3-4-22. So just the 3 behinds for Sunbury in this term. So Vesti got a bit on the kick, albeit into the breeze, and Coulton met it best. Just ran around the pack and took a nice mark. Oh, he paid the block. Very unlucky. They wouldn't have even known Coulton was coming. Stiff there, the Cobras, that's for sure. McCallan will send it into attack for Sunbury. At the back there was Freeman. He was strong and he was forced to feed the ball by hand. He didn't have any immediate runners to the outside, but Boyd will do the mopping up for Sunbury. Cameron got on the end of this. 49 metres out, lowered the eyes and found Newitt. They can take a breath and go back and have a shot on goal here. And a chance to atone for the Lions. Errant Ways on goal in the opening half here with their first of the term, their second for the match. A chance to get back within 2 points of the Cobras. Now, perfect condition for footy. Firm deck underfoot. That'll be Newitt, who's found his way around goal this year. And he gets it done. The Lions utility with a nice steadying finish to restore at least some of the ledger against on the goals and behinds front for the Lions. That was their second of the afternoon. 2 goals, 8-20. Sunbury trail Bacchus Marsh 3-4-22. We've got a 2-point ball game here in BFNL's match of the round here in the East. So stick with us via the BFNL Match Centre. We'll keep you updated with scores as they come to hand. Ballarat 27 lead Melton 24. Redan 32 lead North Ballarat 16. Sebastopol 48 lead Darley 27. And East Point 41 lead Lake Windaree 8. Back at the restart. And we'll get a copy-paste version right in the middle of the ground here in the name of a stoppage. So it'll be Gertz and Muir to contest the ruck duel. Call it even. Gertz won the tie break. Got it to the outside to Shea with a high up and under kick. Look out. McKercher got out the back. Fed it by Handy Griffiths. Can he finish and get the response for the Cobras? Yes, he can. That'll please Dennis Armfield's camp. Being able to get that quick response and restore the momentum. So Billy Griffiths gets his first of the afternoon. The Cobras get their fourth. And they're back to an 8-point lead here. Low scoring affair. 4-4 Bacchus Marsh lead Sunbury 2-8. 21 minutes gone in this second term. The first quarter went a tick over 25 minutes. There was only the 2 goals kicked for that term. 4 in this term, so it may go a little longer. Shall wait and see. So Muir over the footy, trying to soccer, missed it. Turnover opportunity, Metcher, got it to Nixon. Awkward kick, shanked it really. Went through the hands of Morgan. Half forward ball, hot one at that. Stoppage imminent, we'll get one on half forward for the Cobras. Ball up. Tap one there by Gertz. Clean bowled Shea, but he got a bad bounce in the end. Daly knocked it forward to Billy Griffiths. Shea, opportunistic kick around the body with the left boot. Coulton tried to thump it over the head. Daly, can he keep it alive? At least for a second he did, and then he smashed it out of bounds off the side of the boot. So the rebound opportunity presents for the Lions in time on of this second term. After they led by 3 points at quarter time, the Lions, they trail now by 8. So the two sides, albeit into the breeze, have won the respective terms to date. So it'll be Guthrie from the last line of defence who works to the outer side of the ground and delivers a long ball beyond the defensive 50 and found Minton Connell on the chest. It was a good kick. Good to see Minton Connell back in Sunbury colours. He plays on and kicks with the right boot away from the outstretched hands of Joel Muir. And the Cobras will get it back through Gertz. And he looks to go short to Shea. He plays on. Right foot kick out in the Coulton direction. Went with one arm at it. Guthrie got a chance to do the mopping up. To Wood, to Lever. Standing start. Territory going to outer centre wing. Thought it was a nudge by Muir on Gertz. The umpire called play on. Doyle ended up with it. Gave it to Gillard. Back to Muir. To the running Minton Connell, who took a bounce. Ran to 55. Composed himself and sent the ball to an open goal square. Sublime finish. Well done, Harry Minton Connell. Take a bow. Minton Connell becomes the 7th individual goal scorer of the afternoon. The 3rd for Sunbury. And a much important goal late in time on for the Lions. 3-8-26 Sunbury trailed Bacchus Marsh. 4-4-28. So we've got a game on here still. Stick with us right throughout the afternoon. The main break coming up. And then a big second half right around the BFNL. Stick with us. All important clearance. Gertz got it, sent it forward. Coulton went to ground. And we're going to ball up on true centre half back for Sunbury. Two-point lead to the visiting Cobras. It's been a good response in the second term from Armfield's young team. Boy, cool play on. Daly just did enough to apply the pressure. Gertz with a little throw to Fulton, who took them on and then threw the ball onto the boot awkwardly. Muir ran off half back. That was a clean gather there from Muir, and he sent it forward towards Walker. Oh, he dropped it again. Gillard did the mopping up, fed it back to Walker. Standing start. Well, it was a hopeful kick rather than anything else. Well, he caught one over the shoulder there. Boy, no, he's gone, but he got ball to boot. And across the face, just a little bit more composure needed there from the Sunbury forward. But, yeah, to be fine leg to mid-off for Blake Walker. He's just dropped everything this afternoon, unfortunately, the youngster. But a quality player. Nonetheless, ground ball. Guthrie, an opportunity to rebound. Oh, Huxtable's given away a free. Well, no, the Lions have indeed. To Huxtable. Actually, the sigh of Lions fans. Just chips it. Oh. Kavakovic on the goodbye foot now. Probably should just go to Griffiths here and secure the footy. But he likes to go with the longer option and found Shea. He's had a busy term. Tipped it over the top. It was an awkward, when I say awkward, moment there for Griffiths, but he just turned his opponent inside out and sent it forward and found Morgan. 40 metres out from goal. That was excellent play there by Billy Griffiths. Player anticipating that he'd probably go inside, given he's a right footer. But no, he's been able to turn him inside out and get back onto that right foot and hit up Morgan with a shot on goal here from 50. To a dangerous area. Gertz the fly. Gallant will claim the mark. Not paid by the umpire. Not out of trouble yet, the Lions. Cleary kick there from Ryan. The mark's been taken there by the debutant there in Metcher. The Vic Country under 16-year-old. Sends it into attack. It's been cut off there by Eels. And he'll get a chance to steady the ship for Sunbury. As he goes to Wood, who took a running bounce. It's good pressure there from Gertz with that chase. Good example there by the big ruckman. Now the free kick's going to go against Milburn on Guthrie. So Guthrie, no one manning the mark, so he'll just run away laconically and then send the ball forward in the McLean direction. Just ducked his head at the crucial time there, McLean. He wasn't far off securing that. Rebound opportunity. There's a poor handball there from Daly. Open up the turnover opportunity to Lieber, to Stevens. And Newitt played on. Bending. Not far enough. Must have been touched, the kick to Newitt, because he was... Could have gone back and have a shot on goal, given the time elapsed in this second term. And give him the benefit of the doubt. Another behind to Sunbury. They're 9th. They're 10th of the afternoon. Yeah, 5 behinds in the first quarter. 5 behinds in the second. 3-10 plays. 4-4. Scores level. Time on. Second term. Griffiths. Terrific kick. I speak of Sam, who got it to Fulton, who went short to Freeman. Lumbered around onto the right boot. Sent it beyond out of centre wing. Good little knock on the ball there by Ryan to get away from Griffiths, whose second effort was terrific. He sent it forward to McKercher. Went with the first option to the left foot of the debutant, Metcher. Tendinello did well to get back and force a spoil on the aerial attempt there from Gertz. As the siren sounds here at the Clark Oval. Scores level in BFNL's match of the round here in the east. A wasteful, albeit on goal, Sunbury 3-10-28. Bacchus Marsh 4-4-28. The goal scorers. All individual goal scorers. Freeman, Morgan, Coulton and Griffiths for Bacchus Marsh. Whilst for the Lions, McLean, Newitt and Minton Connell. For a nice highlight run and goal in that second term early in time on. Very evenly poised game, needless to say, given the scores level on the scoreboard. Let's go around the grounds. We'll see what else is happening in BFNL action before we take a breath and a break in that order. So scores level at the Clark Oval. Sunbury 3-10-28. Bacchus Marsh 4-4-28. Ballarat 40. Lead Melton 30. North Ballarat 17. Trail Redan 32. Darley 33. An inaccurate Darley 4-9. Trail Sebastopol 9-2, 56. East Point 41, lead Lake Windermere 15. But here in the Beefinales match of the round in the East, scores locked together, 28 apiece. A break and back with the second half action in around 10 minutes' time. Welcome back to the Clark Oval ahead of the second half action in BFNL's match of the round of the East, albeit round 14. It's 6v7. Nothing separating the two sides on the scoreboard. Well, Sunbury left a couple of opportunities out there. They're 3-10, scoreline 28. Kept Bacchus Marsh in it, 4-4, 28. Gertz. First opportunity for the Cobras. Gates. Quiet opening half. Minton Connell, feather ball, searching there towards Miller. Power, tackle, taken to the ground. It was good play there by Huxtable. It's an important day. Continued to accumulate. And he goes to Griffiths. And you reward that long kick of Griffiths in the Freeman direction. He was double-teamed, but forced to spoil for a ground ball foot race on here. Griffiths in front, went to ground. Numbers look like prevailing here. Oh, good pressure there from Morgan. Freeman thrown out of the contest. And a clearing kick from Eels out of defence was, well, lucky really in the end because it found Guthrie essentially unmarked, who went short to Power. Who went back to Guthrie. Still inside their own defensive 50, and the kick found Bramble, who went short to Minton Connell, who gave it back to Bramble. Just nearly ran out of space in the end. Fed the ball to Guthrie. So it's a good chain of command there from the Lions out of defence to forward, and Doyle goes wide of the pocket. So there's a mark taken there by the Cobras. Clever little kick with the outside of the left boot there from Gillard, found Cameron. Cameron will have an opportunity to restore the lead for the Lions in a seesawing affair here. Breeze slightly favouring left of screen, albeit to the right forward pocket of left of screen. But both sides haven't had any problems scoring into it. Cameron couldn't quite get the distance through the hands of Gertz and through for 8 rush behind, enough to give Sunbury the lead here at the Clark Oval. 3-11-29, plays 4-4-28. Out of defence they come through. Fulton to Milburn, who looks to go short. And it was a good stretch there from Nixon. Dangerous. Turnover. Miller, he was off and told so by now he's in trouble. That's the right call by the umpire. This unfortunate there for Miller. So Fulton with the turnover opportunity here, albeit by foot for the Cobras. He'll elect to go backwards to the distribution of Sam Griffiths, who was good again in the opening half. He'd be right up there in the Cobras' best and fairest this year. Just inside the boundary line, he found Brother Bill, who wheeled onto that right boot. I thought he was going to do a sidestep around Lever, but he went in the Freeman direction, who infringed on Eels. And Eels will take the resultant free kick, a chance to rebound for the Lions here. The kick was well weighted to an unmarked Lever, who fed it by hand to Minton Connell, who hit the ground running. He thought he was going to get Guthrie on the outside. Too long, said the umpire. It was a good hold or hang on there from Nixon in the end, whilst Minton Connell wasn't dispossessed. Nixon did enough to deny, and he tumbled it forward, and it went over the head of Coulton. Well, he got a favourable bounce, and he just threw the ball onto the left boot. Lucks of fortune. Oh, speaking of luck, they ended up with none of it because it was touched off the boot. Scores level here at the Clark Oval. 3-11-29, Sunbury. Bacchus Marsh 4-5-29. 4th minute, 3rd term. So we had a bit of rain in the half-time break, but as if they pulled the curtain on that as the players came out. The rain abated pretty quickly. So relatively dry conditions on a firm deck here at the Clark Oval. Long kick out of defence there from Lever. Spoil from Gertz, went boundary side. Guthrie couldn't keep it in. And we'll get a boundary throw in half forward out of side for the Cobras. Well, Sunbury led by 3 points at quarter time. Scores level at the half. And a point each in this 3rd term. Sees no change, essentially, to that half-time differential. as Guthrie going back there with courage as Minton Connell. He'll end up with it here. Kicked a ripper goal in that second term. And the kick found McLean. He looks to just chip it over the top. The kick was safe enough. Found Newitt. He's had a couple of shots on goal already this afternoon. He is one of Sunbury's 3 goal kickers this afternoon. He, McLean and Minton Connell, of course, for that. One of those rare highlights of this afternoon's match, essentially, on an offensive front with that run and carry and finish. Now it'll be Newitt's turn for his second of the afternoon. Chance to become the first multiple goal scorer of the day. And he does enough, Newitt. First goal of the third term, all important one of that for Sunbury through Newitt. And more importantly for the hosts, a 6-point lead. So what say of the response from the Cobras, who were able to do that a couple of times in the second term. Got into a 9-point lead at one stage. Sunbury have kicked the last couple of goals of the match. Back at the restart. Gertz won the tap. Took it on himself. Centre clearance. Good to a dangerous area. Loose ball. Well read by Tenanello, who just chipped the ball. Good use of the body there by the youngster there in Metcher, who was hit solidly. Umpire call play on. Right call. Minton Connell by hand to Guthrie. To Power, who wheeled around onto the right boot and went lateral to half back. Kick was good. Brambles up on his bike. Standing start kick was laces out stuff to Ryan. He got it over the top to Doyle, who lowered the eyes. And a nice coast-to-coast effort there from the Lions as Boyd gave it to Lever, who had a shot on goal, who missed to the near side through for a minor score. Looking dangerous now, Sunbury. Well, they were for periods in that first half, just were unable to get bang for buck. Another thumping kick out of defence, beyond half back. Just a mile away from us here. Ball found its way over the line for a boundary throw-in. 7.5 minutes gone, third term. 7-point lead to Sunbury, who sits 6th on the ladder. Game and 14% clear of Bacchus Marsh heading into today's clash. Soccer off the ground there from Huxtable was effective. Coulton just tried to tap it ambitiously back into the direction of Huxtable's running pattern, but Huxtable was unable to gather at that speed, and it found its way over the line for a throw-in. Adjacent to the test pattern scoreboard here at Clark Oval. Throw-in. Tap one by Gertz. Gallant did the roving before he was held up, and we'll get a repeat stoppage. Gertz won the tap. Daly dispossessed. Chance here for Power, who fed it by hand. He got it over the top to Miller, the dasher, who wasted no time setting the ball forward. Newitt in front, juggling a tap, went to ground. Shoveled the ball out, and hand pass was too up for McLean. Chance now for Stevens, who dropped it. Umpire called play on. Was good pressure there from Milburn and Daly in the end to square away a stoppage 50 metres away from the Sunbury goal. Ball up, tap one by Gertz, Huxtable. Both players having a good afternoon. It was a good fly from Morgan and a great second effort there from Wood, who was hurt in the first contest. So a bit of courage there. Might have copped a bit of a cork. And Guthrie did the mopping up and chipped it wide and found Dean Muir, who's looking to go corridor. Well, he's gone to a one-on-one. It was just too clever there from Lever in the end, outpointing Coulton. Good hand pass there from Minton Connell. Bramble's hand pass was ambitious in the end. It landed in the middle of 4 players. Milburn, he's got some toe. He was knocked off his feet. Ground ball. Hurried kick out of the congestion there from Cameron. Went forward. Doyle couldn't hang on. And the right foot kick was good there to Gertz, to Sam Griffiths, who could have gone to the outside to Canning if he wanted, but he elected to go along to the Billy Griffiths direction. Was cut off there by Wood. They got numbers on broadcast centre wing here. Power can go inside to Walker if he like, but see the ball bounced off Newitt's chest. And a let off for the Cobras. So they sort of found fundamentally wanting on occasions today, Sunbury, given their weight of possession for the most part. Bramble, loose hand pass to a 50-50. Ball spilled out, favoured Power, who went forward. It's a nice grab taken there by Kovacevic, who'll come broadcast side to the debutant in Metcher, the 16-year-old Vic Country representative. Left foot kick was enough to find Griffiths. It was a good kick from Canning in the end, who found Gertz. They need to make this count. So he wheeled and went in the Morgan direction. He's got a couple to beat. Minton Connell in front, protected the ball drop, allowed Guthrie to gather and feed it by hand to Riley. Minton Connell pursued there by Wakefield, broke that tackle. Couldn't quite break the second, but was able to release the ball by hand to Ryan, who got it to Gillard. It was a clever little lefty. Chips it with the outside of the left boot to Power, and he went inboard towards Ryan, who sent it forward. Nice grab taken there by Martin. Taken Martin with the right boot into the middle of the ground. It was a good kick to Huxtable. You can just chip it over the top to Coulton, who should give it to the runner there in McKercher, and he obliges. Had to stop property, gave it back to Coulton. Wood got an important hand on it. Not out of trouble yet. Coulton high up and under kick. It's going to ask a bit of Morgan. Got it. Should go back, steady the ship, and have a deliberate shot on goal here from the best part of 10 metres out. And a chance to get the Cobras back within a point here at the Clark Oval as we tick over the 12-minute mark of this third term. Promising next-gen talent, Morgan. Made that look very easy. The Cobras get an all-important first goal for them into the third term. And they're back within a point. See, the way Sunbury have looked in the opening half of this third term, you would think that they would have greater separation, but they've just kicked the 1-2 to Bacchus Marsh's 1-1 for the term. So bang for buck for weight of possession for Sunbury. Has been a problem for them. Well, their intent is being good. It's just the execution, I'm sure, not up to the lofty standards as we know of Sunbury. Here they go again, though. Through Newitt to Walker. Out wide on the lead towards Gillard. He couldn't hang on. Now has the gather from Guthrie. Made it look easier than what it was. He gave it back to Gillard to Muir with a squaring kick. Always looks to go corridor to Bramble from half forward. Wide to the pocket. Good stretch. Waiting at ground level. Cameron. Good vision. It was a hot hand pass. It was too hot for Doyle. Spilt the footy. McKercher. Kovacevic. Umpire called play on. Clearing kick. High up and under. Good use of the body there by Huxtable, who couldn't quite hang on. Coulton pleading with the umpire for holding the ball on Bramble, but the right call made in the form of a stoppage on true centre half forward for Sunbury. They lead by a point. Ball up. Daly took them on. He's held. No prior. We'll get a ball up. So upon the next goal, we'll give you an update score from around the grounds in BFNL action. Gertz trying to do it all himself. Ground ball. Cameron sent it forward. Diving attempt at the gully there from McLean was put down. Hurried kick with the outside of the right boot. Turnover opportunity for the Cobras. Sam Griffiths with a high clearing kick. Only as far as Muir got an important tap on it. From one tap to another. Wood back to Muir. Hand pass there from Bramble. There's a hot one at that. We'll get a stoppage. Now the umpire's going to pingy bowl on the ball. Cobras free kick. As the rain starts to come down here at the Clark Oval. Just to add to the degrees of difficulty getting that bang for buck we've been talking about. Fulton fed it by hand to Griffiths. And he went with the left boot out in the direction of Jones, who couldn't hang on. He just needs to knock it to the advantage of Gertz, but he couldn't get it to him. All he could find there was Cameron to Lever. It was a good tackle from behind there from McKercher. Dribbling ball there from Lever. Foot race on here. Has the gather from Daly. Fed it to the outside to Fulton, who took on Newitt. Shrugged the tackle and went along to a one-on-one. Eels, Freeman. First out point of the Eels on that occasion. He'll go back and have a shot on goal here. 35 metres out from goal, and directly in front. It's a good forward craft there from Freeman with the tumbling rain and what must be a slippery ball now. But a chance at least to level the scores here. But Freeman is known as a good finishing goal-kicking forward, and he doesn't let me down. He threads the needle, Freeman. He gets his second. And more importantly for the Cobras, he gives them back the lead. They lead by 5 points. Freeman gets his second. He and Newitt, the multiple goal scorers of the afternoon. And we're back to that whole adage of game on. All right, quick look from around the grounds. That wind starting to blow towards the left of screen a little bit more favourably for the Cobras. Ballarat 51 lead Melton 31. Redan 32 lead North Ballarat 25. We're back at the restart. Gertz won the tap. Who can get the all-important clearance? Good turning tackle there from Huxtable on power. And we'll get a ball up. Back at the restart. You can see the flags blowing towards the right forward pocket, albeit left of screen. Good intent on the footy from Huxtable. Was hoping for a little flick from Coulton, didn't get it. Ball went forward though for the Cobras. Chance of Tenanello. Good pressure. McKercher, can he gather? He went low. He was hoping for the high, but he didn't get it. Ballarat 51, Melton 31, Redan 32, North Ballarat 25, Sebastopol 69, Darley 34, East Point 49, Lake Windermere 22. Cobras in attack here. Nixon over the footy. We'll get a whistle and a ball up here at the Clark Oval as the drizzle continues to come down on the Clark Oval. Free kick's going to go Bacchus Marsh's way against Muir. It's going to go to Gertz. He should go back and have a shot on goal here, the big fella. And what a handy goal this would be for the Cobras in the context of this low-scoring affair. And with rain coming down and Harry Power seemingly limping off, but he'll be all right. So Gertz from about 45. That's a minder goal, the big fella. Let's see if we can get this one done. Got plenty on the kick, but off to the left and through for a minor score. Gee, that ball went the best part of 55 metres. Bacchus Marsh 6 behind. They're 6-6-42. They lead Sunbury 4-12-36. 1 goal ball game. 6-point lead to the Cobras. Lever brings the ball back into play. He just chips it up for Newitt, who read it best. Took an uncontested mark at the end. He fed it by hand to Guthrie. They got it the outside to Doyle, who's hit up for Walker. Was spoiled by Vesti. And it rolled over the line for a boundary throw-in. So we're going to throw in here, centre wing, broadcast side. Bacchus Marsh lead by 6 points after scores were level at the half. The arm wrestle continues. Throw in, tap one by Gertz. There was no one at ground level. Now Nixon, well done. Quick hands to Huxtable, to Fulton. He's had a good third term. Dumped as he kicked. No down the ground paid. Freeman presented. Tried to knock it forward to the advantage of Morgan. The soccer out of mid-air was hopeful rather than anything else. Now Coulton's in a bit of trouble, wrapped up by Bramble. holding the ball. 6-point lead of the Cobras as we approach time on in this third term. And the lights are on at the Clark Oval, but I speak only of the cars. Kick into the middle of the ground. McKercher couldn't hang on to Minton Connell, who's bereft of option. He wants a handball give, but elected to go by foot in the end out wide towards Newett. He's had a good afternoon. True centre wing out of side. Weighted the kick nicely to Cameron. He's up on his bike and chipped it over into the pocket. The kick was effective. And he's found Gillard in the pocket. He'll go back and have a shot on goal here. Chance to level the scores here. And not for the first time this afternoon. Sunbury 4 goals, 12. 16 scoring shots to 12 in favour of the Lions, and they trailed by 6 points. So Gillard, he's always been able to count on him for a goal in recent weeks. And he doesn't let the Lions faithful down. Scores level at the Clark Oval. Time on third term. Gillard gets his first and Sunbury's 5th of the afternoon. Let's see if there's been any adjustment to scores around the grounds as we look to close in on three-quarter time and the final break around the BFNL. Ballarat 52, lead Melton 32. North Ballarat 31, edging their way back in. They trail Redan 33. Darley trails Sebastopol by 41. And East Point lead Lakers by 26. Back at the restart. Gertz again through the hands of Huxtable. Foot race on here. Intent was good there from Daly, but somebody had the numbers. Wakefield gathered cleanly. Fed it by hand to McKercher. Sidestep and kick from Huxtable. Good spoil there from Morgan. Just needs to sit up for Gertz. There was good support from Billy Griffiths as Gertz sent the ball forward off the boot of Bramble in the end, and it rolled over for a boundary throw-in about 35 to 40 metres away from the Cobra goal. So they're in attack. Tick over 22 minutes gone third term. Billy Griffiths caught one in the head. Might have hit his head on the ground after providing that support role for Gertz. So we'll get a boundary throw in here. Scores level, 5-12 plays 6-6. 22 and a half minutes gone. Good throwing. Swing and a miss by Muir. Good use of the body there by Bramble. Tallying the pursuant, good intent, but Bramble kept his feet, gathered, fed the ball by hand. It was too hot for Cameron at the end. It was Tenanello, in fact, and Locke got the high ball to a dangerous area. Offhands through for a rushed behind, and that's enough to give the Cobras a 1-point lead. 6-7-43, Bacchus Marsh. Sunbury 5-12-42. So it'll be the boot of Lever to bring the ball back into play towards Muir, who presented. Just dropped, bounced off his chest. Ryan took advantage of the outnumber and gathered uncontested and fed it by hand to Cameron, who found McLean in the middle. Stevens dropped what he should normally hang on to. Good pressure from the Cobras. Daly turnover. Nixon dribbling kick. Daly swinging a miss by foot. Not the best moments there for the Cobras. It'll end up in a turnover. McLean just tipped it over the top. Good gather in the end there from Newett, who just chipped it towards broadcast centre wing to Ryan. They can continue the pattern in the direction of Walker. He got knocked away from him. Wakefield took them on, ran away the Youngsie. Just had a good moment there. Right foot kick to Gertz, who's gone forward. Lever's gone back, as he so often does, with an intercept mark to save the day and switch play to the other side. So Bramble's run and carry. Well, his currency's just gone up the longer the day's gone, really. He's been a good player. And went to outer centre wing to find Miller, who sent the kick onto the bounce to Walker. Gave it towards Boyd. Dropped what he was just running onto in the end. And, well, he's disappointed with that because Griffiths was able to apply a tackle on his second effort and get a holding the ball decision. Bacchus Marsh by a point. 24 and a half minutes gone. Third turn. Griffith's got plenty of it. From the back pocket to outer centre wing. Coulton, and it knocked away from him there by Gallant. Close up against the boundary line. Rare fumble there from Bramble. Well, free kick to the Cobras. Over the shoulder. Go to Morgan. He's been okay today. He goes short. Good use of the body there from Locke, but who's there to support? They're all Sunbury through Riley to Miller to Newitt. And he can just chip it into the middle of the ground to McLean, who's got Ryan on his outside, but he goes more direct in the Walker direction. Went over his head. And just need to do some tidying up here, the Cobras. Milburn, he went back to a dangerous area. Freeman just chipped it over the top. Looking there towards Huxtable. Didn't sit up for him. And the intent on the ball there from Miller was good. And they've got an outnumber here through Boyd with a squarey kick to Doyle. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal here, 40 metres out. And a chance to get the lead back for Sunbury. Deep in time on this third turn. Yeah, well, Milburn went back the other way and well, they just were unable to work it out through Freeman and Huxtable. And it's resulted in a turnover. Makes it tough when you can't get the numbers around the contest, and Sunbury so often had those this afternoon whilst they've been fumbly, the Lions. They've got a chance to restore the lead through Doyle. Yeah, that's more like it. He loves a goal, Doyle. It's hard to keep him off the goal-kicking sheet for too long. And he gets his first. Sunbury get their fifth goal. Goal to Doyle. Back at the restart here, deep in time on third term. Sunbury lead by, what I anticipate, 5 points. Given the test pattern-like scoreboard hit that they've got going on here at the Clark Oval. Going on is polite. And here's an opportunity there for Miller with the squaring kick. Huxtable's been arguably the Cobras' best, who fed it by foot to the broadcast centre wing to Nixon. Oh, they just couldn't hang on for another minute there, the Cobras in that third term before coughing up the lead. Sunbury 6-12-48, they lead Bacchus Marsh 6-7-43. It's a 5-point lead to the hosts, the Lions, heading into the final break. Sunbury kicked 3 goals, 2 in that term, to end on 6-12-48, whilst the Cobras kicked 2 goals, 3 of their own, to head into the final break on 6 goals, 7-43. So just the 5 points separating the two sides in an entertaining arm wrestle with a bit of rain here and a bit of wind there and a fumble here and a fumble there, but the intent, you certainly couldn't question that from either side this afternoon under trying conditions for the most part. Let's go around the grounds before our final break here in BFNL action. As we just wait for the HQ to load up. Ballarat 59, lead Melton 38. North Ballarat 31, trail Redan 34. Darley 41, trail Sebastopol 76. And East Point 56, lead the Lakers 23. Well, we've got the closest game going on around. Only the North Ballarat Redan game is rivaling this on the scoreboard front, albeit at three-quarter time. But here in BFNL's match of the round in the East, Sunbury lead Bacchus Marsh by 5 points. 6-12 plays 6-7, and breaking back with the final quarter action in a couple of minutes' time. Welcome back to the Clark Oval ahead of the final quarter action. Slight rain falling here. It's Sunbury who lead by 5 points. Cobras hanging in. Had a bit of help from Sunbury, who've just been unable to put the Cobras away. And that hasn't been all by the Cobras doing, mind you. Just turned it over a bit, Sunbury, some of their decision making. But they lead the game as Guthrie gets the first shallow entry inside 50. Vesti with the rebound kick. Well, that was hopeful rather than anything else. So Miller fed it to the outside to Bramble, who's been industrious in this second half. In particular, McLean the fly. Couldn't bring it down. Now he's going to get pinged for holding the ball. So, yeah, Vesti's tried hard in defence for the Cobras today. But he'll come broadcast side, get the ball beyond the defensive 50. Muir had a bit of it. Clever little tap there from Shea. Coulter needs to knock it forward, and he did well to Morgan. Was met solidly there by Muir. Shea kept it in. But just that ball drop from here, I'm clutching at straws, but it just seemed like when it made contact with the boot, he was marginally over the line. So good call there from the boundary umpire. Throw in. Loose ball. Huxtable. Normally good in tight. Shea fell over. Muir. Hard at it, Muir, but a bit fumbly. Guthrie. Tumbling kick wide of the pocket. And McLean's happy to see it over the line for a boundary throw-in. And the Lions will get an all-important reset in the name of a boundary throw-in stoppage. 25 to 30 metres around from their goal. They lead by 5 points. 6-12 plays 6-7. Throw in. Knew it at the back. Conceded. Holding of the arm. Said I'm not sure what that signal is. But I know with the right arm up, that means it's a free kick to Bacchus Marsh. Oh. There you go. No words from me for that. The vision will sum that up. So it'll be Newitt, who's been prominent all afternoon. Definitely feature in Sunbury's best players over the 3 and a bit quarters thus far. And the kick is on its way. Newitt's got 3. Sunbury have got 7. And they lead by 11 points here at the Clark Oval. So some momentum with the hosts on the back of that misfortune. We'll call it that. From the Cobras. From Gertz, who's toiled manfully all day. He's been in Bacchus Marsh's best, no doubt. Huxtable and Sam Griffiths, a couple of others to feature prominently. Fulton tried hard in the second half. Tried hard all day. It's really about impact, really, when you're trying to validate picking the chosen few at the top. So it's an 11-point lead to Sunbury. Ball up, tap one by Gertz. Power held up, taken to the ground. Well, you've got to be up for going to the ground when Tyson Shea's involved. Ball up. Gertz won the tap. Clever little knock on there from Huxtable. Well, there was nearly a sling in the end there from Minton Connell on lock, but not identified by the umpire. Considered lawful. We'll get a ball up on half forward. So at the restart, it'll be Gertz and Muir. Muir won the tap. Could have been over the shoulder of Gertz, but the umpire's picked out a free kick here for holding the man. And it will go to Gertz. They more often do hold the man in the ruck duel, every ruck duel pretty much. And there's a snap out of nowhere from Freeman. He's got 3. Terrific finish from Freeman. He's had a solid afternoon. And that's a response from the Cobras to keep them in it early on in this final term. Freeman's got 3. Well, if I had gone the other way and said Morgan's got 2 and Freeman's got 3, you'd reckon an American actor would have 5. (7-7) Bacchus Marsh trailed Sunbury 7-12. 5-point ball game. We're back to the 3-quarter time deficit or margin in favour of Sunbury. An all-important clearance required here. Centre one at that. Gates just took his eye off it with the incoming traffic through Newitt. Milburn was on air pass. Gavakovic was a good save in the end. He certainly couldn't have been able to grasp it. Daly, touch of the fumbles. Fulton, he was clean. Not necessarily by hand, but with the gather. Not out of trouble yet, the Cobras. Cameron to Guthrie. Sidestep good. Does that well. Squaring kick. Off the back of the hands of McLean. Kick across the body from Doyle. High up and under the top of the goal square. And Fulton's maintained his good form in the second half and will go with a 45 to the debutant there in Metcha. Awkward kick. Made it difficult for Nixon. Hot spoil on the footy there from Tinanello. Nearly broke every bone in his hand with that spoil. 5-point lead to Sunbury. Rain tumbling down here. Still plenty to play out. Cobras won't die wondering. Can Sunbury put the Cobras away and consolidate their spot in the top 6? Well, Muir spent it before he had it. Huxtable gave it away quicker than he would have liked. Because it only went as far as Cameron, who got it to Bramble, who gave it to Minton Connell. They got plenty on the kick. To a dangerous area. Vesti got a fist on it to the safety of the boundary line, and we're going to throw in adjacent to the Sunbury behind post. Tick over 3 minutes gone. Still anyone's game here. The lights are on here at the Clark Oval. It just take me too long to reel off all the cars that are contributing to that light, because they're certainly not being turned on at the lights around the ground here. Throw in. Dark skies overhead. Hurried clearing kick. Out of defence, and the Cobras was good, and it was well read there by the youngster in Metcha. There's a likely type, the 16-year-old Vic Country rep. He goes towards Kavakovic. Boyd was strong to keep his feet. He was rewarded with that. Was able to square the ball to Cameron. That's nearly 50 metres against Locke, where the umpire let it go. Chip out the top from Ryan. Was meant for Doyle. Umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going to come back to the Lions' left footer. That's nearly 50 as well, because the Cobra gave it back to the Cobra player who was standing the mark, not to the man who was to be taking that free kick. So it'll be Muir from up against the boundary line. Too far out to score. Drills the kick. It went over the fist of Sam Griffiths. Gillard, he's looked dangerous forward. Martin got a spoil. Fulton was strong. Clever hand pass. Now they just need to work it out here. Fed it by hand. Loose one at that. Fulton's under the pump. He needs some support. He's not going to get it. He's going to get pinged. Clumsy Cobras. 5-point lead to Sunbury. There's going to be a couple of defining moments in this final turn. They're going to decide this game. So, a couple of coach killers from the Cobras in their back half in the opening 5 minutes of this final term. And on this occasion, it'll be a resultant shot on goal from Minton Connell. He's already kicked one. Normally a beautiful kick. That one, no exception. Minton Connell, he gets his second. And Sunbury get the separation thereafter. In the right part of the game, albeit the final term here at the Clark Oval. What a bonus it has been to have Minton Connell coming back via Sunbury on what you would think an inevitable return to the level, albeit VFL. So 8-12. Sunbury lead Bacchus Marsh 7-7. So 2 goals to 1 in this final term. Sunbury have built on a 5-point three-quarter time advantage. Extended that to 11. Can the Cobras get a response? Because that's what they've been chasing all afternoon, and they've been able to deliver on 3 or 4 occasions. Gertz for the important thump, nearly as good as a kick. Bramble dropped it. Lucky to get away with it. Oh, and then he's going to get the hold. Yeah, buy a ticket in the raffle. The lottery, actually. All they could do with the feed. Bramble, right foot kick to half forward. Nice mark taken there by Boyd. He's off on his bike with a right foot kick. Out direction of McLean, who went through the hands of Vesti. Was well rode there by Canning on his non-preferred, but he'll turn it over. In the name of Guthrie, he'll rebound with a squaring kick to Bramble, who's had a busy second half, and went to Lieber, who started the game so well. With his intercept and distribution, he'll go to a shallow entry inside 50. Walker could hang on. Kabakovic went to ground. Couple of the youngsters over the footy. And it finds its way over the line for a throw in 60 metres away from the Sunbury goal. 8-12 Sunbury. 60. Lead back a smart 7-7-49. 7.5 minutes gone. Final term. Still drizzling rain. Tap one there by Gertz. Fulton was hard at it. Swing and a miss by foot. Umpire called play on. Lucky to get away with it. Kick with the outside of the right boot. Found Guthrie, who ran to 40 to 35 and just missed to the near side. She had Walker 20 metres out, all on his own directly in front, and even with a shorter, even a handball to Doyle, but he had momentum through his running pattern there, Guthrie, to finish the job, but just found wanting. Handy point, 12-point lead to Sunbury. Tick over 8 minutes gone, final term. There's the long kick in there from Vesti, beyond half back. Ground ball. Who can gather cleanly? Nixon could. It's a loose hand pass. Chance here for Huxtable. Now Wakefield provided the support to Locke with a high up and under kick towards the attacking 50. Eels fitted out the back towards Tenanello to Riley. The right foot kick to the outer side. Foot race on here. You'd back Daly to get there first. He's got some toe. And he fed the ball by hand to Nixon, who got it to Milburn, who spears the ball with excellent vision to Huxtable. That was good run, carry, dash, and execution there from Milburn. And an all-important shot on goal here for the Williamstown VFL product, albeit Bacchus Marsh Jr., of course. He's played a handful of games at the higher level. An important shot on goal to keep his club in it. To narrow the margin to 5. Never looked in doubt off the boot. Huxtable gets his first, and the Cobras they get their response. So they match Sunbury's 2 goals in the final term. Margin now 6. 1 shot on goal, albeit a major. That's all that splits the 2 sides. Sunbury with the advantage. 10 minutes into this final term. The game continues to ebb and flow. Gertz looking for Shea. Knew it. Through ball on the boot. Good use of the body there by Guthrie. Got out in the back and ran away from Milburn. Can he get it done this time, Guthrie? Yes, he can. An immediate response from the Lions through Guthrie. Restores the margin back to 12 in an entertaining final term here. Let's yield 5 goals already collectively in the opening 12 minutes. Let's match the second and third terms already on the goal front. So it's certainly opening up. Just who can get bang for buck here in the final 17 or 18 minutes of this game will go a long way determining the result. Speaking of the result, let's just take a quick look from around the grounds in BFNL action. Ballarat 66, lead Melton 53. North Ballarat 45, lead Redend 34. Darley 48, trail Sebastopol 83. East Point 62, Lake Windermere 24. And it's a 12-point lead to Sunbury here at the Clark Oval. Loose ball, foot race on in earnest. Mitch's intent was good, but he was outnumbered by Lyons. Guthrie was ambitious from Joel Muir to Newitt to Doyle. Lions starting to get some bang for buck in this final term with their time spent forward. Cobras, of course, left to rue a couple of those goals coming off their own error. But Doyle from 49 with plenty on the kick. He liked it off the boot. Has he got the journey? Yep. He's got it done. So back-to-back goals for Sunbury. And a game high 18-point lead to the hosts. They've kicked 4 goals to 2 in this final term. They've actually kicked 7-3 in the second half compared to their 3-10 in the opening half. So some more efficiency on goal that was found wanting in the opening half from the Lions has certainly aided the separation on the scoreboard. They lead by 18, near 13 minutes gone. Final term here. Can the Cobras go again? Can they get a response? Sunbury on top of the Clark Oval. Next goal, all important. Nixon with the clearance. Sent it forward. Bouncing ball. Came off the shin of Nixon in the end. Morgan overran the footy. Huxtable didn't, though. Took them on and got ball to boot. Wasn't a bad individual effort there from Huxtable. He had no support with an outside run. Handball give opportunity. But the ball's been banged out of bounds on the full there by Tenadello. And the rebound kick will come via the boot of Nixon for the Cobras. So, yeah, needless to add, the next goal all important, given an 18-point lead to the Lions. It'll either become 24 or 12. It'll either be game on or game over. Ground ball. Riley, standing start, Lever. Stevens got a terrible bounce. Chance here for Jones. Fed it by hand to Shea. And went to ground as he was kicked. To Griffiths, right in the middle of the ground. Penetrating kick out wide towards Freeman. His lead was cut off there by Tenadello. Second effort good though by Freeman to run onto the footy. Kicked the ball across the body. Presenting there was Coulton. Ground level, Muir, quick hands. Got it over there towards Eels. Clearing kicks being cut off there by Sam Griffiths. Drilled the ball. Didn't give his Cobra teammates much chance. Fulton foraging at ground level. Ball spills out. Wakefield went to ground. Some tired players out there. Tenadello fed it by hand to Ryan, who found Wood with the non-preferred to Gillard. He obviously recognises a bit of fatigue creeping in, so he's happy to get some air back into the game. Sunbury lead by 18, near 15 minutes gone. So go along the line and found McLean. He covered some ground today, McLean. And his short kick was effective to Stevens, who looked to square the ball. Well, it missed the target. But Minton Cunnell's got enough time to comfortably sidestep Coulton and send the ball forward. Loose ball. Good pressure there from the Cobra defence. Vesti, high up and under, clearing kick. Metcher did well over the footy. Hot footy one out the back now. Sunbury wanting in the back. He's going to get ping-ponged on the ball here. Yep. Yep. Looks like a moment where you're wanting a bite for Christmas. You end up with a scooter. Either way, you just got to cop it. Nixon. Oh, that's a dangerous kick. That's a poor kick. Went over the head of Morgan and in front of another cobra and just... And just a bit of wax on from Lever and Cameron. Yeah, the Nixon kick found Gillard, which was disappointing. They go back now and they're just happy to hang on to the footy. So keeping's off. So they need to get on the front foot here, the Cobras, because they'll just drain the clock here. Sunbury as Gallant measured the kick well. Oh, umpire called play on. No frontal contact. He did well not to give away a free kick there, did Gates, and the kick from Wakefield was cut off. Gee, a lot of turnover across half back or half forward for both sides. Doyle to Gillard, who's warming into that Sunbury jumper, albeit the number 71. And he goes short. This time Gates kept his feet. Now, can they use the ball efficiently here, the Cobras, and get a chain going? Huxtable to Gates, outside of the right boot. Turnover. Tell you what, if turnover was a player, he'd be in the best today. For both sides, really. But it's been a most entertaining game, nonetheless, given the stakes. 6th v 7. Wakefield couldn't hang on. Second effort good. Fitted by hand in the end, but disappointed he couldn't hang on to the mark. Loose ball now. Chance here for Ryan, who's tackled, taken on the ground there by Huxtable, who's continued to work hard for the Cobras today. 10-13-73 Sunbury. Lead Bacchus Marsh 8-8-56, and Tyson Shea's coming off with the blood rule. Not only is he the game's record holder in the BFNL, I reckon he's got the blood rule record as well. Such an in and under tenacious veteran, 300-plus gamer. We've got an 18-point lead to Sunbury. They're just starting to manage the game well now. Sunbury Cobras are going to find a way. 18 and a half minutes gone. Ball up. Tap one by Gertz. Over the footy, Gallant. He might be in a bit of trouble here. Umpire said, no, play on. And now he'll call a stoppage. Near 19 minutes gone, final term. Bit of the sting sort of gone out of the game, even though it's just an 18-point lead. But can Gertz do something out of nothing? He's tumbled the ball forward. 3 Lions up. Just the one Cobra down through Wakefield, who looks to spear the kick. Oh, it was a heavily weighted kick. Sunbury, too easy to defend. It was Gillard. Got it to Wood. Back to Gillard. High up and under kick towards Minton Connell, who presented. And Huxtable did enough to provide the aerial resistance to see it over the line for a boundary throw and on half forward outer side. Boundary throw in as we tick into time on in this final term at the Clark Oval. Tap one by Gertz. Trying to do some roaming of his own, but it just didn't work out. It was Cameron, got it to Newitt, who sent it to outer centre wing. Good work there from Vesti. And it's been cut off again across the Cobras half-forward line. And the Lever will get ball to boot. Got plenty of it. Sent it to the middle of the ground. Off the fist of Kavakovic. Fulton, Vesti. Standing start. Gertz through his hands. Ball got out the back. Gallant went to ground. Stolen by Daly. He can feed it over the top if he likes, but there's a free kick being paid to Sunbury. It's going to come back to Gallant. And Sunbury doing all things right in this final term to cling to a deserved 18-point advantage in time on this BFNL's match of the round of the East. Boyd. Happy to carry it over the line. We'll get a throw in. Tired players. Well, there always is at the end of a game of footy on this big ground. It's a big ask in the GPS stakes to cover the ground. Throw in. Walker missed the footy. Loose ball. Cameron. Territory gain. Nearly a shallow entry. McLean in front of Kovacevic. Sunbury fans wanted the push, denied by the umpire, and we'll get a ball up 50 metres away from their goal. Ballarat 66, Melton 53, North Ballarat 51, Redan 40. Loose ball. Shallow entry inside 50 here for Sunbury through Muir with the outside of the right boot. Vesti, he's trying hard today. And he ran his measure and delivered by foot into the middle of the ground. It'll be cut off there by Wood. So Wood with ball in hand will execute with the left boot. Out wide towards Boyd, who's able to mark on the chest. Chip it wide to the pocket. In the direction there of McLean, who had it knocked away from him to the safety of the boundary line. We're going to throw in 50 metres away. So 4 goals to 2 in this final term. They've seen Sunbury extend a 5-point lead to 18. And time on in this final term. Gallant's come off a little bit worse for wear. Now Gertz, just a bit heavy with the little touch to himself. And ended up over the line. We're going to throw in. So it's been an entertaining game. Both sides have enjoyed periods of the game with their noses in front. Credit to the responses of both sides, and ultimately Sunbury, who've been able to kick away late. It's the right call by the umpire. We get a ball up as Fulton was unable to break the vice-like grip there of Muir. Ball up, tap one there by Gertz. Fulton has had a good second half. Threw the ball onto the boot. Loose ball, Nixon. Hand pass, well, getting important fish on that was Tendanello. Coulton to Huxtable, who wanted the hold, and he'll get it. So he wheels onto the right boot and goes long in the direction of Freeman, who's been he and Morgan have been the only real genuine sort of forward presence for the Cobras today. Left foot release kick out of defence for Sunbury. Just landed in the middle of half a dozen players. Huxtable with just a desperate knock forward. Only went as far as Miller, who elected to execute by foot and found the target in Guthrie. Cobras out on their feet. Trail by 18, 24 and a half minutes gone, final term. Wood, short kick, Newitt. And Newitt's been he's just tidied things up today when things have looked seemingly untidy for the Lions. And the kick from Cameron found Joel Muir, who marked just above the grass line. And he looked to send it forward to McLean, who was pushed. Free kick against Milburn. I reckon McLean's probably done 30, 40-metre sprints today. While it hasn't always gone his way, you can't discount him for being out in front, playing the role as a lead-up forward, obviously in the absence of Johnston and Sutton. He's just continued to present. And he can be rewarded here with his second goal. He kicked Sunbury's first goal of the game. And a chance to kick their 11th and extend the margin to 24. He won't quite get the journey, McLean, and Gertz just knocks it over his shoulder into the goalpost for a rush behind. So 25 and a half minutes gone. So Sam Griffiths will bring the ball back in. Penetrating, beautiful long drop punt. Nixon, he's at the back, didn't quite get to him. Somehow end up with ball in hand, dispossessed. And Daly ended up with it, ran away. Gee, he got some toe, ran his measure and some. Yep, He's going to get pinged for running too far. As the siren sounds, a timely ending to this BFNL match of the round here in the East. Both sides are going up and down in the one spot towards the end, but deserved winners on the day. Sunbury, they were able to mend their errant ways on goal. They kicked 3-10 in the first half. Scores were level, but were more efficient, and they were the clear beneficiaries of a couple of errors where the Cobras would want their time again, but they booted 7-3 in the second half to Bacchus Marsh's 4-3, and that was essentially the margin in the end. So 8-7-55 Bacchus Marsh have gone down to Sunbury. 10-14-74. Term went the best part of 27 minutes in an entertaining seesawing affair. There was the arm wrestle for the most part. We saw some highlights along the way, but an all-important 2-game and percentage buffer now for Sunbury ahead of some tough matchups on the run home ahead of the Cobras, who have got some work to do to keep their season alive moving forward. Let's just have a look at some scores from around the grounds. Well, I'll do the goal kickers first here in this one that's just completed in front of us. For Sunbury, Newett booted 3, Minton Connell 2, and 1 each to McLean, Gillard, Doyle, and Guthrie. Whilst for Bacchus Marsh, Freeman booted 3, Morgan 2, and 1 each to Coulton, Billy Griffiths, and Josh Huxtable. So a final word from around the grounds with our BFNL update before we bid you a good afternoon from the Clark Oval. Next week, we're at McPherson Park for the Bloods hosting North Ballarat. So looking forward to that clash at Mackie Park. But the final scores from around the grounds in BFNL action. Sunbury, 10-14-74 have defeated Bacchus Marsh, 8-7-55. The margin, 19 points. Ballarat, 9-13-67. Lead Melton, 10-5-65. 2-point lead to Ballarat.